there, and welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time, then welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, then I would very much appreciate a subscribe. The reason for that is I upload Gran Turismo Sport videos on a regular basis, and if you like Gran Turismo Sport, then you might enjoy watching the videos. I usually feature the daily races, some FIA events, etc. But yeah, we try and get a couple of videos out a week, so it's worth hitting the subscription and the little notification bell, and you'll get alerted when I have produced a new video. So the subject of this video is, as the title suggests, a driver that I think needs banned. And now that might seem strong, but that's how I feel. I've come up against this guy a few times and I've seen some of his antics, and quite honestly it's despicable, and it wastes races for so many people. And that person in question is the guy in position 6 right now, GT Arc 83. Now this guy is pretty quick, so he ends up in these top split daily race lobbies. Brilliant, he can race. So why he insists on behaving like this? Oh, did you see that hopping car there in the background? Why he insists on doing this, I don't know, because it's a constant. He'll work his rating up, his DR gets up, he's had it up over 60,000 before, and then bang, he'll act like this and he'll get a DR reset, an SR reset, and he'll start all over again. So the lap is about to begin where this all kicks off. Now you can see Jono F1 there, it's a little bit forceful round the outs and up the inside there, and I'm a little bit unhappy with it, to be honest with you, but look, we get on with it, we race, we go too wide here, and that doesn't bode well, and I end up against the wall. So I lose a lot of speed there and give him a little flash because I wasn't too happy. But you see GT up there sending it up the inside of us, and then come right across to block the cutback. Now, he picks up a 2-second penalty for his troubles. So you think to yourself, well, on this race, we've seen it all week, penalties are given out for minimal contact. Now he kind of forced that upon himself by sending it up the inside the way he did, and contact. You know, I turned in because I didn't see him. I mean, he came up so quickly, and I'd lost a lot of speed. But you've got to be aware in that corner that the person ahead may turn in if if you've not got your nose alongside, and he wasn't in the radar. So I got a bit of a shock when he flew up the inside, so that was fine. But then when he cut back across to try and block me from getting any sort of a cutback on him, that forced a little bit of contact, and he picks up a 2-second penalty. Now he is obviously unhappy with this, and this is what happens next. Now, to the untrained eye, that might look like I've forced him off. You can actually see I've picked up, to the untrained eye, like I said, it might look like I've sent him off the track, and I get a 5-second penalty for it, which is the harshest penalty you can get. But what actually happens is this: he sends it up the inside. We're now behind him. He's picked up a 2-second penalty. Now, at this point, you think to yourself, suck it up and get on with it. You'll still potentially get a decent finish, because people pick up penalties everywhere in this track limits, etc. And, it's just one of these things. There's a good chance you will still pick up places. But no, he decides that he's going to start brake checking us all the way around this corner, braking. You can see how much he's slowed down there because he's waiting for us now. He's going to try and take us off at this corner. Well, I think he is anyway, and then without even trying to turn across, he just drives straight on. And I'm thinking, what's he doing? What's his game here? And then forces us. We're still on the brakes here, but we clip his back end and force him, to fly across the track. But then I realise he's done that deliberately to send himself off the track to give me the 5-second penalty. That's exactly what happened there. You can see it again. He waits on us, drives straight across the front of us, and off the track he goes into the barriers, into the gravel. Now, that, as far as he's concerned, if we go on board with him, you can see what he does. It's deliberate. Gets us, makes sure he's sent right off. He's probably quite chuffed with himself that we're getting a 5-second penalty. He's happy to finish last. That's what he's basically saying. He's happy to finish last. So that was that. He's got his 2-second penalty. We've got a 5-second penalty. So you can imagine I'm not best pleased with that. But anyway, we don't rage quit. We resist the temptation and we plough on. We serve a penalty. But as you can see what I'm saying about penalties, there's a guy up ahead now with a 4-second penalty. So we're going to get a place back there. You know, like somebody else there with a penalty you've seen and picked up another place. So you can kind of work your way back up and at least minimise the damage to your DRSR. There is one further incident that we have in this race, and that is in the lap number... yeah, this lap here. You know, you've got the Croatian here. If we see this here, again, once you're stuck back here, you're kind of, you know, bumping and rubbing to try and gain position. But we give this guy plenty of space, but he really doesn't use it. Kind of nudges us and uses us to stop himself, and off he goes with his position. So I'm a little bit annoyed, to say the least. So I decide, right, I'm just going to floor it. I'm just going to go right onto his bumper. I'm going to put loads of pressure on him, and that's what we do. He's a bit unstable here, leaves a gap. I decide to send it. He turns in on me, but he knew I was there. You know, I would have been in his radar, and off he goes. We don't pick up a penalty. I kind of expected to pick up a penalty, but we didn't. So, yep, off we go. So GTR picks up a place for that and comes in the position behind us. But, you know, he was happy basically to sacrifice both our races there by taking the action that he did. So it's players like him that ruin this game for everybody, and he's been doing it consistently over a long time now. And I can remember seeing him in one of Arias' videos. It was an FIA event, and Arias got punted about 3 times by the guy, and the guy just wasn't interested in racing. He was more he just becomes fixated on punting people and shoving them off and getting penalties for them. It's bizarre. I don't understand, because the guy has pace. But, you know, in the lobby afterwards, he was calling me dirty. That's the thing. That's the irony of the whole situation. But, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. You might have come across this guy. You might have experience of dealing with him, you know. But, thankfully, you don't see him all consistently in the kind of top lobbies, because it gets so many DR resets, SR resets, that inevitably it just drops back down. And, you know, that's just the way it is. So what I'll do is I'll quickly move on to the next race, and it was the race straight after this, and we tried to restore our faith in the game. So here we are for race number 2, and the good thing about this race was, as you can see, no GT Arc in the lobby. So I checked Kudos Prime before jumping into this race and saw that his his SR had dropped back down to the low 80s, so I knew we weren't going to be in the same race as him, so that was a bonus. Up ahead we've got Shoot Ace and his fellow compatriot Joseph Raditin 84, and the Spaniard, all 3 of them with quick quality times, so we knew they were quick players. And in this race, what you see is what happens when you decide not to fight and battle, and you just decide to have a race and, you know, let it take us where it takes us. And one of the main issues here is coming down to turn 1 in this track. If you battle, if you go aggressive, all it does is cost you time. So what we do is we don't try and send it, we just try and tuck in on the behind the Spaniard, get the slipstream. Lap 1 is just about settling down, getting into a groove, getting into a racing rhythm, and not doing anything that's going to cost you the race, because you can lose this race in lap 1, and that's not what you want to do. So as you can see, there's been a bit of a battle behind us, so we've already gapped the group behind it, and again they're all going to have a battle. As you can see, they're jostling for position. We've decided we're not going to do that. We're going to go into a slipstream chain, and, you know, that lets us break away, and we can then, in the latter stages of the race, hopefully have a little battle of our own once we've secured at least the top 4 positions. So lap 1 complete, no issues at all. We'll skip us forward, and you can see that, you know, by the end of lap 2, again, we're all much the same position behind. We've all kind of kept the same distance. The Spaniard is going to now put a bit of pressure on the Czech, and we've got a massive gap. So this is when you can start battling, because you know you've got to have a little bit of time, and you can see the Spaniard has a look down the inside but doesn't get the move done. So we still tuck in nice and tight, and off we go. what happens here is, though, yep, the Spaniard spots an opportunity to send it up the inside, but you know, the Czech, Joseph Radetyn, doesn't take any, you know, action that's going to compromise both their positions. He accepts that, you know, the position's been lost and tucks back in behind, puts a little bit of pressure on. Nothing, no harm, no foul. We're still safely in 4th place with a massive gap behind us. So the battle continuing on ahead. P1's getting away from us a little bit, but you know, we're going to battle out for the podium. And if we skip through now, what you'll see is how this race plays out in the final lap, because it's a really, really good final lap. So P1's kind of done and dusted, but 2nd, 3rd and 4th were all pretty tight. So we make it round T1, nobody's sent it, nobody's tried to ruin anybody's race. Got that massive gap behind us still, so no problems there. And this is what my vantage point was, because I drive from bonnet cam, so this is what I was seeing as we raced round. And you can see it does get, you've got to be kind of, you know, hold your nerve going round some of these corners, make sure you're, you know, on the brakes at the right time. And as you can see up ahead, the Spaniard just, a little bit of dust coming up there as he sticks a tyre on the gravel. And now the Czech Republic player is going to have a little look, and he's right on his tail now. He goes for the send, aggressive move, rubs doors, but we then take advantage and we manage to send it up the inside of the Spaniard. He tucks in behind, hoping to get the slipstream. We, you know, see the Czech Republic player coming across us. We going to just get squeezed out as we come across the line, but wow, that was close. We managed to take the podium though. And that's what can happen if you decide to have a nice, good, clean race. So, yeah, it kind of restored my faith in the game after my dealings with GT Arc. And yeah, big shout out to Joseph Radetyn and Nave GC for the race. Good game, lads. So yeah, if you've enjoyed the videos, I will hopefully have another 1 or 2 out in the next week. I've got some stuff coming up though, so that is a big question mark, but I'll try my best. If you've enjoyed them, as I said, if you've not subscribed before, hit the subscribe button. You know, feel free to like the video. I try and produce a couple a week, as I said, GT Sport content, and I will do my best to keep that going. So all that's left to say is enjoy the daily races and the new FIA season in the week ahead, and I hope everyone has good results and good, clean, fair racing. Over and out.